It's a new year, and one of my goals was to build some of the boards that have been piling up. What better build to do in January than a board named the January? Okay, so editor Kyle here. Clearly you're not watching this video in January because I'm editing it right now and it's February 1st. I really want to do the whole January keyboard in January thing, but I didn't finish editing, so here we are. To be fair, I did build a board in January, so that's one thing. But anyways, yeah, let's get back into the video. The January is a 60% O-ring mount keyboard designed by Artemis Design Studios. It originally came in silver, steel blue, and crimson for the aluminum variants, and frosted and smoke for the polycarbonate version. Here I have the frosted polycarb board. I joined this group buy back in November of 2022, and it finally delivered last year in June. At the time of recording this, both polycarbonate versions are available in stock at Keys for All, although a bit higher priced than the original group buy. Let's get to the unboxing and build of this board. The board is simple but beautiful in its design. The bottom features a copper weight with the name January engraved in script. The sides have a small curve, which adds a bit of flair to the board. That same design language is carried over to the wrist rest. It's funny how the wrist rest weighs just about as much as the board itself. When plugged in, the PCB does support RGB underglow and can be configured in VIA. The hot swap PCB has a pretty set layout with a 7U bottom row and a split backspace. The only thing that can be changed is stepped and normal caps lock, although I personally opted for the stepped caps. I'm still not fully used to split backspace, but I will say on a 60% board, I do think it visually looks better. Let's move on to the sound test of this board. Overall, the sound profile is pretty clacky, which suits my personal style. Compared to other O-ring mount boards, I do think the polycarbonate case does lower the pitch slightly. Even though it's mounted using a 50A O-ring, the board itself is still pretty stiff, but comfortable to type on. I personally love the wrist rest as it carries the same design language with the hefty copper weight. The only thing I wish it had was cutouts for the feet similar to how it is on the board. I'm very happy with this board in both aesthetics and sound. I will say, in 2025, the price for this isn't cheap. The board has pretty minimal parts, and with it costing $360 in stock, which excludes the PCB, it's a bit hard to justify when there are so many other boards available. For me, the design and looks are enough for me to enjoy this board, and I will definitely keep it in my rotation. I'm glad I finally built this board, and thanks for watching. Peace.